Alright lads and lasses, welcome along. Tuppence Tuesday. So, last week we were looking at data cultures and how they really start to take shape within an organisation. And we've touched on kind of the main benefit, of course, of a data culture, which is around that you start to be able to expand on what's going on and what's happening. But what does that mean for your senior leadership team? Where do they fit into all this? So the leadership team are going to have to be involved, aren't they? Yeah, so we've got leadership, that's needed. We have to have our leadership to steer us in that right direction. The data, we need to be aware of actually, what do we mean when we're talking about data? So let's get the two together and then think about what the secret sauce is. Actually, what's the important thing with all this? So your senior leadership team, traditionally, yeah, it's a very top-down focused way of being, isn't it? An average organisation is going to be very top-down. I've got my senior management. I'm there. Below me is managers. Then maybe some team leaders. Then the minions, right? And that's a consistent way that I've come across in my years of experience of doing this. I hear a lot of talk about my door's always open. You know, oh, you can come and talk to me, my door's open. All these kind of things that I hear. But the important thing with this is actions speak louder than words. When you're wanting to formulate and build a data culture, you have to tackle your hierarchy. That has to be one of the things that you see as the main detractors from your goal. Okay? The more hierarchical your organisation is, the more difficult it's going to be to bring about the kind of change and transformation that you're looking for when you bring in a data culture. Okay? Your control of the business, you know, senior leaders, you guys are in control, you know, and girls, you know, guys and gals nowadays, you know, modern and all that, you know, hot, right? You're in charge, okay? And that level of control, you need to be prepared to start to release it as well, because that's what you're doing. When you are doing a data culture, you are empowering your teams to do what you need them to do, right? You are empowering them to make your business a success. So you can't mandate, I demand that you do this, I demand. You need them to be suggesting the ideas. Innovation comes from them being prepared to put their hand up and say, I think we should try this, right? That's how innovation comes. So you need to release some of that control. And that's a scary thing. That is terrifying, truly terrifying for a lot of people, and understandably so. And then lastly, you've got your governance layer. You do have legal duties to the business that you need to make sure are maintained and that carry on throughout the deployment of a data culture. You can't just suddenly allow them to go, do you know what would be great? If we put sarin gas in to packages, right, that would mean that they wouldn't go off. Yeah, it's probably a bad idea, okay? So, yeah, governance. You're going to have legal duties, legal responsibilities. You need to put the checks and balances in place so that the ideas, the innovations that come out aren't going to, break the law, but you need to be aware that you don't want to be overburdening and preventing and stifling growth. All too often, governance is used as a way of preventing innovation. And there are, you can do the research yourself if you want, right? I'm not going to parrot them out. If you want, we can find you 5 to 10 different articles, all saying the same thing. Governance is the enemy of innovation. If you want to innovate, you need to lower your governance levels and your control and your hierarchy. We get that. But when you start to go, of course it is, right? Because you can't innovate if someone's going to go, no, you're not allowed. It says no, not allowed. You've got to, there's a form you haven't filled out or you haven't done this right. No. So, data, yeah. Because what we're really wanting, the goal of this and the point and the benefit that you get as a senior manager is you get this holistic view of what's going on in your organization across your business. We can build analytics platforms and models that are going to cover all our business processes that we've got going through, from finance to management, R&D, HR. Everything can be pulled together into one model, into 10 models, into 100 models. Okay? But the core piece is that you want to come up with a framework that supports the import of data and the development of those data sources and data sets and data models, but doesn't prevent the exploration, discovery, and ultimately the utilization of that data for the benefit of your business. That's the point, isn't it? We want to do an analysis, and we are going to build an analytics platform for my business, and it is going to be epic, says everyone. No one ever says, I'm going to build an analytics platform for my business, and it's going to be rubbish. Okay? No. Okay? But the truth is, a lot of companies will end up with rubbish deployments if they don't embrace the idea that analytics will change over time. Analytics is not a fixed target, it is a growth area, and unless you make sure that you've got that growth capability, you're just going to start cutting yourself off at the knees, right? And it's death by 1,000 cuts. It's not worth it. Okay? So why would I bother? What am I going to get out of doing all this that's going to make it worth my while? Because frankly, all I've heard so far is it's going to ruin my business, and I didn't like that. So what's the secret sauce? Shh. Yeah? Shh. The secret that you get out of all this is trust. Okay? A good data culture is built on trust. And one thing that I've learned through all my years, right, with doing this, right, is honestly, it doesn't matter a jot, right, if your staff trust you as a senior leader. That doesn't matter. It's not actually that important, right? A lot of people say, oh, it's vital, really important, right? Yeah, trust me, what's more important is that you trust them. If you don't trust your staff as a senior leader, right, forget it now. It's not going to happen, right? Everything's going to go wrong, right? You're wasting time. If you're at the point where you're saying, I can't trust my staff, there's no way could I trust them to do out, right? They don't know anything, they're stupid, they're whatever you want to say, right? If that's you, you need to have a long, hard think about a data culture and really what that means to you, right? Just get to know people, right? Because ultimately, people are people. It's common, okay? And if you were in the position where you're saying, right, I can't trust them, you have to ask yourself, is it them I can't trust, or is it me? Am I concerned that there's something out there that isn't seen, that I'm not able to do? Because if you're half as good as you probably are, right, to have got to where you are in business, right, you're going to be able to shape a good team. You're going to be able to inspire people to do the right thing, okay? And your judgment should be sound enough that you've picked a good enough group of people around you that they're able to do stuff on their own, right? And what you need to do is take that step back and have that think, right? Because the benefit that you get from it, right, when you have a trusting organization that's built on trust, right, and your data culture is growing because of that trust, you have like the 4 key elements, don't you? And they will be the foundations that will see your business and your data culture grow, right? And that is the safety that comes from a trusting organization. The people around me they're not out to get us. They're here to support me, right? I know people care about me and I care about them. We're a group of people. We work together, right? We will be there to support each other, right? We are united, okay? And you'll hear it when people are talking about we. as a business. We. And not we as management, right? Because we as management, no, right? Should be we as Geordie Intelligence. We as Geordie Consultant. We are doing this. We want to do this. We choose to do this. It's like that Kennedy speech, isn't it? You know, we choose to go to the moon, not because it's easy, but because it's hard, right? We choose. It wasn't a, well, I've decided this, like, and NASA's going to sort it for us. It was a we. We are in this together. Okay? By doing that and using trust as the way that you really will deliver your data culture, you'll start to see the difference. So what do you reckon then? Trust. It always comes back to trust. Okay? With a data culture, if you don't have trust, if your teams don't trust you, if you can't trust your teams, you'll get nowhere. Okay? And trust comes from you as the senior leader first. Right? If you can't trust your teams, you cannot ask them to trust you. It's that simple. And if you're at the point where there's just complete distrust between you and your teams, you need to sit down and say, right, what are we going to do to fill that gap and fix that problem? Okay? It's not a difficult one, right? It's not one that's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of pounds or hundreds of thousands of dollars, right, like that. Okay? But it is something that you have to address. You need to be prepared to sit down and look at what's going on and say, right, this is something I need to address. I, as the senior leader, I'm going to take responsibility for the lack of trust in my organisation, and I am going to seek to work out how I can make my teams trust me. Okay? Because if you go down that route, you'll find the changes happen. So don't forget, like and subscribe down below. Head on over to geordieintelligence.co.uk, become a member, enroll on some of our courses. Let me know what you're thinking about these videos. You know, is it going well? Are you going, I don't like this guy, he's not right, he's not one of us, right? And don't forget, come back on Friday for weekend work. Have a great week. Ta-da.